What is up, everybody? Welcome to Rabble of Thrones. This week we are going to be discussing the episode titled "The Door." The Door.
The door. And what a door.
And what a door it was. With me, as always, in the main Rabble studio, I've got Tyler Hoskin.
Hello.
And it's just the two of us again. I'm Chris Taylor, by the way.
We can make it if we try.
We will try and make it through this episode. So nothing exciting in the previously on Game of Thrones. It was all like your standard fare. Nothing really like, hey, remember this crazy thing that happened 4 seasons ago? Like that's, you know.
Yeah, no, like, it was pretty much. Oh look, Jorah's got grayscale again.
Does Jorah have grayscale?
I think Jorah's got grayscale. Wait, hang on.
Let's check.
Yep, still there.
There it is. All right.
It's a little bit bigger this time, though.
Yeah, it's just like right, but it's all the way up his arm.
It's the entire arm now.
Not good.
Not good.
So I have a note about that later, actually. Okay, so we start with Sansa, and she's sewing stuff. And I like how that comes back later in the episode too.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So she gets a message from Littlefinger, like, well, you know, and then she says, "Hey, how far away is Molestown?" And so she goes to meet him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm happy to see you unharmed." And she's like, "Unharmed? You want to talk about unharmed?"
Yeah, he didn't hit my face, bitch.
Yeah, he wanted me to still look pretty. She is like a total badass in this scene.
Oh my god, Sansa, thank the freaking Lord.
Right? Like, isn't this the Sansa we were promised last season?
This is the Sansa we've been waiting for.
Okay, so...
Right here. And I hope this continues.
Right.
Damn, she was badass.
Yeah, and so she says to him, she's like, "Did you know about Ramsay?" And she's like, "Because if you didn't know, then you're an idiot. And if you did know,
you're my enemy.
You're my enemy." And he's like, "I didn't know, you know." She's like, "You took me away from people who murdered my family.
Yeah.
And put me in with different people that murdered my family."
Yeah.
On what planet is that like a cool thing to do? So, then she does threaten to have Brienne kill him, and Brienne's like, I'll do it.
Sure.
I'll do it too.
Game on.
I don't care. So he says, because basically she's like, "I'm done with you. I don't care. You fuck off." Basically.
Yeah. Even after he offered.
Right. He's like, "I got all my dudes here. They're gonna come help you," and she's like, "Now we're good." So he says, "Well, okay, let me give you at least one piece of advice. Your uncle has
the Blackfish.
The Blackfish has raised an army and taken back River Run. So if you're gonna take this fight, get him with you because he's the Blackfish."
Yeah, he's the badass of the badasses, and damn, is he ever a badass!
Right, and so, Littlefinger says about people keeping her safe, and she's like, you know, what does he say about? Because he says something about half brother. I made a note about half brother.
He said something about, "Oh, your brother's army."
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because he walked by, he went half brother.
Right.
And left.
That's right. So, then we get to Arya getting a beatdown.
Oh yeah.
Always getting a beatdown.
Royal smackdown.
Just ass.
She wasn't doing too bad in the beginning.
Right.
But then she lost her touch and
Well, and then Waif just dropped her little stick, and she's like, "Come on, whatever, let's do this." It just boom, more of a beatdown.
That was some great choreography.
It was good. It was good.
That was awesome.
And then at the end, she's like, "You'll never be one of us." And then Jaqen's
says,
Lady Stark, right? And Jaqen's like, "She's got a point." So he takes her into the room with all the faces and tells her the story of like the first faceless dudes and how all their faces are there and yada yada yada, basically, and then gives her a vial of poison, and she's like, "Oh, okay." So she's got a task, and he's like, "This lady, she's an actress. Um, go and do it." So she's like, "Oh," and he says to her, "You've been given a second chance. You won't be given a third."
Right. And the hall of faces will be given a face.
No matter what. Yeah. So either you do it,
or you're dead.
or you're fucking dead, or we're gonna kill you
And take your face.
and take your face and put it on the wall with all the other faces. So
We're gonna put some nice lighting around it.
Yeah, it'll look great. It'll look great. So okay, so she goes to this play,
and
which
oh my God,
was awesome.
so good.
It was so good because I'm like, this isn't how it happened. So we see a king like looking around and he gets stabbed by a boar, and I'm like, okay, cool. We're getting like the
Baratheon.
Yeah, we're getting the version, the literary version of what happened, right?
Yeah.
So for those not watching on YouTube, I put air quotes. So he gets stabbed, and then the dude who's playing Ned Stark comes in, and he's playing like a real dumb guy.
Oh, it is so awful.
It was awesome. No, it was awesome. Are you kidding?
Like, it was like he played it so well.
Yeah.
It was like he was the stupidest guy.
But I really liked the implications of the play. So the implication was that Ned was going to try to take over after Robert died.
Yep.
And that Tyrion was was helping him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyrion backstabs Ned.
Yep.
So then the dude cuts his head off, and because you see Tyrion give that dude money, and because Joffrey was like, "Oh yeah, we'll let him live, whatever," and then Tyrion comes out with the note, and he's like, "Oh, it's from my father, Tywin Lannister," and he says, "I'm going to be Hand of the King forever," and I get Sansa, and he pulls her shirt down. And so basically,
right there, done.
Right, because it's the same girl.
Yeah,
we see later.
Well, we might have to clarify that because it's the same girl in a different scene.
Yeah, but it's so close.
But it is the next scene.
It is a different scene in technicality.
So we might have 4, we might have 2, we
we
need a third and maybe a fourth opinion on this.
Right.
So
if ever it's more than just the two of us doing this podcast, hey, we're looking at you. Goddamn, sell your goddamn condo already. So I really did enjoy the play portion, and you can see like
and how they rhymed pretty much
every
line.
And Arya was getting pissed. So then Arya goes backstage. Somehow it was just cool for her to be hanging out backstage.
Well, I mean, she's supposed to be no one, right? So as you walk around, nobody's going to notice no one.
I guess. Okay, I get. If you're going from that angle, I guess that makes sense. So she's watching, and the girl has her shirt off because it's... sorry, and the scene opens with the dude's cock.
Oh, yeah. That was...
which I was like...
you cock.
Yeah, I was like, okay, wow, that's a cock.
Cock
right
and
there.
balls in hand. Like... Yeah. This part of, like, yes, fine, we see tits at almost every scene.
Right.
But this was literally not needed at all.
Nope.
It gave no context to the...
He had a wart on his dick.
2, in fact.
Oh, 2. Yes, 2 warts. So should we start... Because we've got the boob count. So should we start the warts on cocks count?
Maybe.
We're at 2 already.
Yeah, there you go.
So the one girl's complaining she only had 2 lines, and the dude's like, "Oh, there's no small parts," and the dwarf guy, whatever. So you find out that the girl that she's sent to kill is the one who played Cersei.
Yes.
and that she likes rum instead of wine.
Yes.
So Arya goes back to Jaqen and says, "Okay, I'm going to poison the rum because no one else drinks it, just her." And Jaqen's like, "Okay, whatever,
Great stuff, kid.
cool." So and then she's like, "Well, she seems like a nice person. Why are we doing this?" And Jaqen's like, "Well, I mean, does death only kill the wicked, or what? Like, just because you're a good person means you don't die?" And he's like, "We got paid, so we're gonna kill whoever." And this is where Arya's gonna have a problem with it, because Arya was okay killing the dude who was a shithead, ripping off people selling insurance, right? Because he's a douchebag.
Yep.
So she's okay doing that, but killing this lady because the understudy, and it's implied that it's the understudy is the one who wants her dead.
One who's playing Sansa at the moment.
Right. So, Arya definitely not a fan of that, but the, many-faced god is going to get its face. So,
she also asks him if she could use a face as well.
Right, and he says no.
Yeah, you're not ready.
You're not ready. So now we go to Bran warging out. And we see the little kids of the forest, and they have a dude tied up to the tree.
Yep.
And she's got a little, crystal thing. And she jams it into his chest.
Well, it's dragon glass, right?
Was it dragon glass? Is that what it was?
It was dragon glass.
So she jams it into his chest, and boom, the White Walkers are born. And that is the Night King, too.
That is the Night King, yeah.
That's him without the makeup.
And that it makes sense that is the Night King who is born of dragon glass, and his followers,
yeah,
the higher up followers, not the whites, the dead guys,
right,
can be killed by dragon glass.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yep. So Bran wakes up and he's really pissed off and yells at the little girl like, "Oh, you made the fucking White Walkers." She's like, "Yeah, we needed them because of you." So they made the White Walkers to protect them from humans, basically.
Yep.
Which I think this whole thing is really dumb.
That concept of how the White Walkers were born? I think
it's very dumb.
It is a little bit of a cheap way to do it. Like, it's let's just do this. Okay. Why couldn't they just be there?
Because it's like, oh, cool, where did they come from? Well, no, this is dumb.
Yeah.
They make up for it later. They make up for it later because the stuff at the end of the episode is good. But this really bothers me if this is where you're going with that. Well, I mean, it's too late. They've already said this is where the White Walkers came from, and now you've taken one of the big mysteries of the show, and you've really cheesed it up. Like, this really cheeses it up, and I mean, it's very disappointing.
There was no need for them to have an origin at all.
Yeah. There isn't. You're absolutely right.
There is no need for them to have an origin. Period. It could just be they're there.
Yeah.
They want everything, just like the humans want everything, and there's your power struggle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't need little kids put a dragon glass in a dude's chest.
Yeah.
So we go to the Iron Islands. Let's go to a part that is cool. And, they're like, "Oh, who claims the throne?" And Yara's like, "I claim it because I'm fucking Balon Greyjoy's daughter." And they're like, "Well, you can't claim it because you're a woman and we've never had a queen."
Yeah.
And then she gives a whole bunch of reasons. She's like, "Yeah, well, we've never done all this other stuff. And my father, led us in the wrong direction, and we'll make a huge fleet and blah, blah, blah." And it seems like everybody's kind of on her side, and then someone's like, "Oh, what about, we can't have you because fucking Theon's right there."
Yep.
And then Theon takes a couple steps and for the first time ever, does the right thing.
Yeah, no kidding.
For the first time in this show, he had a chance to make the wrong decision.
Yep.
And he made the right decision. So that's why I was very happy with this scene. Because now you finally see Theon like, okay, Theon, finally, you did the right thing. So he says, no, Yara should be the queen.
And
you guys have all fought with her. She's Ironborn. She's a badass. This is who we need. And then everybody's like, yeah, Yara's the champion. Woo! And then all of a sudden Euron shows up and pisses all over the party. And he's like, hey, no, I'm claiming the throne. And Yara's like, well, my first act as queen will be to kill the man, execute the man who killed my father. And he's like, yeah, I did it. Like, whatever. What are you going to do about it? And then he's like, I did everybody a great service. Like, what was he doing? He
exactly.
Got us in these 2 wars that we had no business being in. And now we're going to fucking, so now with me, I'm going to build a fleet and we're going to go. And there's someone who hates the Lords of Westeros just as much as we do.
I found this very interesting.
Right. So we're going to build a fleet and we're going to sail across. We're going to get Daenerys Targaryen. She's going to marry me and we're going to take the 7 kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he said he's going to give her the ships and his big fat cock, I believe he said.
I believe that is correct. Maybe not in those exact words, but
it was pretty close.
Pretty darn close.
So his big fat cock. She's got Dario. She doesn't need him.
Oh, I have ideas there, sir.
Oh, do you?
Which we will come to later.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, so so then they're like, okay, cool, we're going with this guy. Like, just like that. But we're going with this guy.
Yep.
So
he's a dude. He's older. He's a Greyjoy.
Sure. Yeah. So he's getting baptized, whatever it is.
This is one hell of a way to become king.
And as that's happening, they're cutting back and forth to like Yara and Theon like getting on boats. And I'm like, okay, where the fuck are they going? And then
fuck at a dog.
Well, and that's it, right? At the end, they show like, oh, they stole all our good boats, and he's like, all right, well, get everybody, chop down every tree you see, get everybody on this.
When Euron comes to finally after being drowned,
right? You have to drown to become the king. By the way,
which is amazing.
Yes, because what is dead may never die.
Exactly, and if he dies,
yeah.
Who's king then?
Well, then they're like, hey, Yara, come back. We need you. He died.
Right? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So, and as soon as he wakes up and gets the crown, which looks so dumb.
Yeah, it was like a couple twigs held together with like fucking, what do you call it?
Yarn or something?
Yeah, well, I think it was just floss.
It was like fucking ridiculous. And he asks, where are my niece and nephew?
Yeah. Let's go murder them.
Let's go murder them. That's right.
So,
they had to know that that's what was going to happen.
Oh, of course.
Otherwise, they're going to kill him.
Right. So. Well, and so they've taken off. So I'm kind of curious as to, and I didn't make that a question, but I'm going to right now.
Nice.
Okay, so then we go to, where do we go? Oh, Daenerys, right?
Yes, we head off to Daenerys.
And she's hanging out with Dario and Jorah. And she's like, listen, Jorah.
Bro.
I fucking sent you away twice. You came back twice. Now you saved my life. What the fuck am I going to do with you? And he's like, you got to send me away this time.
Look,
she's like,
I got grayscale.
What do you mean? And he pulls his arm up, and it's like all grayscale. Look, I got grayscale. Ah! And she's like, oh. She's like, is there a cure? And I'm screaming at the TV, yes, there's a cure. Of course there is. Just find Oh.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Oh. Oh,
Stannis is dead.
find his daughter.
Find
Oh
Shireen.
wait.
Oh, they
Oh.
burned her.
Oh
Oh
wait.
man. Well, maybe Davos knows,
Maybe Davos knows.
right? So,
Or maybe it's all Melisandre.
right. So, and that. So okay. So here's the thing that was awesome about this scene. He's like Tyrion was right. I do love you. But I gotta go. And so he goes to walk away, and she's like, don't you walk away from your queen. You promised whatever. It was a really nice scene. It was actually really good.
It was like
And
I
I'm
love you
kind of,
too, bro.
right, I'm kind of shitting on it a bit, but it was actually a really nice scene. And she's like, go find the cure. I order you to go find the cure because when I go to Westeros, you have to be at my side. So he goes, and then she brings the Dothraki with her, and I assume they're going to Marine, her and Dario, and all the Dothraki. Man, shit's going down.
Shit is going down.
And it's like, it's moving at such a, like, breakneck speed, right?
Yeah, it's moving just fast enough.
Right.
Like, it's not moving too quickly. It's not moving slow. It's like, okay, yeah, keep the story going. Keep it going. I want more. Halfway through the season and shit is so happening.
Right. So then we go to Varys and Tyrion and Missandei and Grey Worm, and they're talking about how the new arrangement is holding up. So none of the masters have been killed, and the Sons of the Harpy haven't killed anybody. So everything's going good there.
So far, so good.
Right. So then they meet with the new Red Lady.
Well, this is
just a different
Red Lady.
Different Red Priestess. And they want to get her on Daenerys' side. And she seems to already be game.
Yeah.
So that's good.
You mean get on the side of the queen who was birthed of fire?
Right.
Yeah, I gotta be on board with that.
Right. And so
we learned something very, very interesting about Varys.
What did we learn about Varys?
When his junk get cut off?
We learned that before.
Yes, but when it was thrown in the fire?
Yeah.
And something was said?
Yeah, we learned that.
When did we learn that?
When he told the story when he had the guy in the box, and he told Tyrion the story about how it happened, and he said, because when they threw it in the fire, he's like, I heard voices.
Huh.
So, but yeah, so that was really cool that she to kind of because he was super skeptical. He's like, well, there's this Red Priestess who was shitty right back, and she basically at the end she's just like, listen. If you truly are a friend of Daenerys, then you have nothing to worry about from me. Westeros with Stannis, who said he was the chosen one, and look where he is, and
wait, he's dead.
So he was being very, very shitty. And she was shitty right back, and she basically at the end she's just like, listen, if you truly are a friend of Daenerys, then you have nothing to worry about from me. So the next scene, the next scene, Bran is he's like the last one awake at the party. You ever been that?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's partied out and passed out, and you're looking around the room, and you're like, come on, Hodor, what the fuck, man, wake up. So
wake up, bro. We need to.
Did he take a finger bone and throw it at the Raven? Because I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
That's what that was.
Yeah, so he throws, and the Raven doesn't wake up. So he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to walk over and grab a branch and see what's going on.
Yep. That was dumb.
It was really dumb. So he grabs the branch and wargs out, and he's in a snowy field surrounded by zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And the zombies don't pay any attention to him. Obviously, because he's warged. He's not actually there.
Right.
He's walking through, gets to the back, and there's the 4 dudes on horses.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right, and the Night's King. And the Night's King kind of looks at him.
Yep.
And he's like,
eye contact.
He's like, this shouldn't be a thing that's happening.
And
then
at that point, wouldn't you wake up?
It doesn't seem like you have control over waking up. Because of what happens later in the episode, I don't think he has control over waking up. So he turns around and looks back after the Night King has looked at him, and now all the zombies have turned and looked at him.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he kind of like turns around and boom, Night King fucking grabs his arm, and he wakes up like and the Raven's like, "You saw the Night King, didn't you?" And he's like, "Well, yeah." And he's like, "He touched you." He's like, "No, he didn't." He's like, "You got the mark. I can see it on your arm. He touched you."
Lies and piece of shit. He touched you.
He's like, "Oh, well, he can't get in here anyways." And he's like, "Well, he can now." Way to go, Bran. Way to go, Bran. You know what else is nice about this season? I used to dread Bran segments. I used to dread Sansa segments.
Yep.
And now I want both.
Yeah.
Like, right now, there's nothing, like, slowing the show down.
True.
Right? Everything is, like... And I get it. Like, for me, the Bran stuff was always really slow, and it's only paying off now, and I don't know if it's paying off enough that it makes it worth it, but the Sansa stuff is paying off so well, because if you didn't have her being... if you didn't have her being shitty and boring early, then her being cool and awesome and badass isn't, like, it doesn't pay off as well. Like, this is...
Yeah, because it would never make sense.
Right. Well, because she can't be badass, because Arya is the badass one.
Yep.
Right? And now that she's been through some shit...
And she's got to realize that, I can't be nice to everybody all the time.
Right. So, okay, so then we go to Jon and all them trying to figure out how they're going to take Winterfell, and Jon's like, "We don't have enough men." And they're, discussing, well, who can we get on our side? And the Umbers and the Karstarks are with Ramsay, so, we've got all the smaller houses.
Sansa said the Umbers can hang.
Yeah. So, because they gave up Rickon. Like, maybe they're still playing.
Maybe.
I hope so. Just because of the father.
Maybe.
So anyways,
this is when Sansa pipes up and says something about her uncle.
Her uncle, and Davos is like, "Oh, the Blackfish, he's a legend. We need to get him." It's like, it's Starks and Tullys, and then we can start rallying other houses to our side. But if we get those two names, that's good. So, and they're like, "Oh, how do you know this?" And she's like, "Oh, Ramsay got a raven before I escaped." And
you lie.
So then Brienne, her and Brienne leave, and Brienne's like, why did you lie to them? Wait, that wasn't it. No, because they talked a bunch before that.
Because it was more of a...
Oh, because she's like, "Hey, Brienne, you're going to River Run. You got to get my uncle."
Yeah, you go.
And Brienne's like, "I don't want to leave you with these guys. I don't trust them." And she's like, "Well, John's my brother. It's fine." And she's like, "But the dude with the beard, come on."
He's a little creepy.
He's only creepy with you, Brienne.
And that scene when they're on the next part when they're on the horses.
Oh my god, it's so
just
good.
Staring at her.
Yeah, it's so good. And so, did she answer why she lied? She didn't, right?
No,
she just said, "So why'd you lie to Jon?" So, but she doesn't answer. So they get on their horses and they're getting ready to leave, and Sansa's wearing a dress with a wolf on it, and Jon's like, "Oh, I really like your dress." And she's like, "Yeah, I made it, whatever. I made this for you." She's like, "I tried to make it like Dad's, and it has the Stark logo on it." And what's that?
The logo.
Well, what is it?
The family crest.
Family crest. I like logo better. Okay.
All right.
So, And he's like sincere, like he's like, "Oh my god, thank you! Like this is awesome," you know. And so they get on the horses, and Tormund throws Brienne another look,
Oh,
like
so
just
funny.
so good.
'Cause
And
when she looks over, he just gives that creepy smile.
yeah, he's like, yeah, you know what's
Oh yeah.
up, you know
Oh,
what's up. So, um, so they depart. Oh, sorry. And as John's leaving, he says to Ed, "Hey, looking at the wall, says, don't knock it down while I'm gone."
yeah.
Which I thought was awful foreshadowing because that means that someone who I discuss Game of Thrones with on a regular basis is very right about something. And it
Uh-oh.
really bothers me because I'm like, no, that's dumb. But what bothers me is how right he's been about so many things. He's been right about this last scene that's coming up, and I'll get to that when we get to it. But I do really believe that this now means that the wall is coming down, which is, I mean, whatever. They've been doing good so far. So even the stuff that I kind of had spoiled for me is still like in a different way than I expected,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
all right, so then we get to the last scene.
This
And
scene crushed me.
okay, so hold on. There was one thing we forgot to mention from the last warg scene, because after he wakes up and the Raven's like, he can come in here, and he's like, now you have to be me. Like, now you guys, now you have to be me. And Bran's like, well, am I ready? And he's like, no,
Nope.
no, you're not. So,
Not even close.
so Bran and the Raven are warging out, and as they are, Mira and Hodor are talking about bacon and eggs and blood sausage, and Hodor seemed to be really enjoying the
Oh,
conversation.
I'm down.
Yeah.
All this food talk is making me hungry.
And they Bran and the Raven are inside Winterfell, and it's when Ned's leaving to go to the Vale.
Yes.
And so his dad says to him at some point, if you have to fight, just make sure you win.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, which I thought was a neat little line. But it gets Mira realizes, oh my god, it's getting really cold in here.
Yeah,
And
she
so-
sees the breath.
Right. And she runs outside, and they're just surrounded. And
They be fucked.
they be real fucked. So the little fire the little people are throwing their little fireballs,
Those are fucking
and
awesome.
they make a thing of fire, but for some reason the Night King and his dudes can walk through, but the other guys can't. They got to kind of go around it, which seemed like it was really easy to go around, so it was kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, it wasn't really that big.
Yeah, like surround the whole tree with fire, I'm thinking might have been better.
Might have been a little bit better.
So they're fighting the whole time, and Hodor gets scared, right?
Yeah.
So, and he does his Hodor thing when he's scared, and so Mira's like, "You gotta get Bran, we gotta get out of here," and Hodor's not doing anything, and she's like yelling at him, "You gotta warg into Hodor." Meanwhile, Bran is in Winterfell looking at young Hodor, Willis.
Yep.
And so he's kind of in, kind of out. And the Night King gets into the room. No, that was before.
That was after.
So he does warg into Hodor. Hodor comes out of it, picks up Bran.
The three-eyed raven says, "Listen to your friend."
Right. And then he runs out the door. They're running down the hallway. And the Night King steps through the door. Oh, wait, sorry. And then Mira grabs the spear and stabs one of the White Walkers, and he just explodes into ice. And I'm like, I totally forgot they had dragon glass.
Yep.
I completely forgot. So, she stabs him. He's dead. They take off. Then the Night King comes in. Why didn't she wait for the Night King and just kill him? I don't know.
I don't think the Night King can be killed by dragonglass.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Who's going to kill the Night King? Jon Snow?
Jon Snow.
Yeah? Not Daenerys? Okay, so that's 2 seasons away.
Yeah.
So, or maybe he'll kill both of them.
Well, maybe. That would be an interesting turn.
So they're running. People are dying. Little kids dropping fireballs. Whatever. The important thing is Bran is still not in reality. He's in the past.
Yeah.
And he's looking at Hodor, Willis.
Yep.
And they get to the end of the hall. You know, Hodor's like trying to budge the door. He finally gets it opened. Mira and Bran make it outside. And Mira starts yelling at Hodor, hold the door. Hold the door. Hold the door. And then Bran sees him, Willis, and sees his eyes go like he's been warged. And then all he can say is hold the door, hold the door, hold the door.
It starts basically seizuring.
Right. And then you see like the zombies breaking through the door and clawing at him as he's holding the door so Bran and Mira can get away. Are you fucking kidding me? I was dying. Like I literally teared up. Cause like it's absolutely heartbreaking that, you know, it's not Bran's fault.
No.
But it kinda is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're sitting there and you're going, holy fuck.
Right.
And if you think about it, this whole thing was already planned.
Right.
Right? Like everything that has happened for a reason.
Right.
Like he warged and went to see the Night King by himself, and it was already set. It was happening.
Right.
Oh my god.
So okay, so that's the end. Another like this season has been so good so far.
So good.
So we forgot to play the game last week.
We did forget to play the game.
So we right before the episode aired, I text Tyler and I said, "Yo, we forgot to guess times of death." So we both guessed right before the episode started, and Tyler went with 24 minutes.
Nope.
And I went with 32 minutes.
You're way closer.
It's funny because with those guesses, it's like if it's the first half of the episode, you're good. If it's the second half of the episode, I'm good. So did we say the Raven got killed? Because the Raven got killed too.
Oh, the Raven got killed. Yeah.
So and when he died, I'm like, well, I guess he's kind of a major character, so we can count that. But then I'm like, when Hodor dies, like that's a major character.
That crushed me.
Yeah. So
I'm still in shock.
Right. I don't even know how to feel. So I win for this week.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I don't think anybody would have been able to call Hodor though.
Man, I wouldn't in a million years. I wouldn't want to call that. I'm still kind of mad. Okay, so for next week, what do you got?
I'm gonna say it's episode 6.
Episode 6.
I'm gonna say 37 minutes.
37 minutes? Okay, I'm going early. I'm going 11 minutes.
All right.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I gotta write it down. Tyler, 37. And okay, so I got some questions, some prognostications.
Do it.
Okay, so first question. Where are Yara and Theon going? My guess is they're going north, and they're gonna try to get together with the Starks and that.
I agree with you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Theon's really gonna try to like atone for his sins.
Sure.
And I think the most sense for like payoff is Theon being the one to kill Ramsay. I mean, yes, a Stark. I mean, it'll be good if Sansa does it, but I mean, Theon went through a lot.
Yeah.
And Sansa went through a lot too, but Theon's was over a much larger period of time.
Yeah, he was fucking brainwashed.
Yeah. Okay. Second question.
Yeah.
Do we see Jorah again this season?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say no.
I'm going like episode 10.
Okay, like right at the end?
Yeah.
Still counts. Right, one more. Or no, sorry. Fuck, 3 more.
God.
Does the wall come down?
I think with that foreshadowing, it's gotta.
Right? And that's when I wrote that question. I'm like, it's
Just,
like...
With it saying that, you gotta go yes. You gotta say yes.
You gotta say yes.
At least a portion of the wall comes down.
I think
maybe not the entire wall,
I think all
but
of
like
it.
a good chunk of it.
Okay. What does Littlefinger do with the Knights of the Vale? Because now Sansa said, I don't want your help. So she's just marching back home?
No, I think he helps anyway.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, I think so too.
It helps anyway, and he might even go talk to Jon.
Does he become a good guy? Like, is Littlefinger becoming a good guy? Because when he said sorry, when he honestly, it seemed sincere.
Yeah, the look on his face.
Yeah.
And Sansa confronted him.
And she's like, I want you to guess what he did to me. And he's like, I don't want to talk about that. And Brienne, grabs her sword, and she's like, Lady Stark asked you a question.
Answer that shit, bitch.
Answer that fucking question. So, okay. Here's another one. Did I answer that? Yeah, I think I agree with you. Anyways, okay. Are we going to see the rest of the Tower of Joy?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, we are.
How?
What do you mean, how?
He's not in the tree anymore.
So?
The tree is what makes him, go places.
I say we see it.
Okay. I say we see it as well, but I'm really curious as to how they're going to do it. And the last one.
Because currently he is still warging.
Right.
He's still doing his thing right now.
It's true. He's still warged right now. That's right.
Right? He is still doing it right now. He never came out of it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. So we'll see it right at the beginning of the next episode?
And no, I don't... Not the beginning, but... because he is now the three-eyed raven.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
He is now in control of that.
Right.
So when he figures out how to control that, he's going right back.
Yeah, okay.
Because
right.
he wants to know.
He wants to know, and now that he's in control and no one's going to tell him, hey, you know,
can't do that.
You can't do that, and here's the map to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so... and I don't get to make that joke anymore.
Oh,
I know, it's a sad day. All right, so, and the last question. Will Tormund and Brienne get it on?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no, but I really want it to be yes.
I think it'll happen. It might not happen this season, but I think it happens.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have 2 questions for you.
Oh, you've got questions. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Question 1.
Yes.
Who was the guy tied to the tree?
Who was the guy? Who was he?
Who was he?
Oh, god damn. Oh,
so this is where...
you've just... Are you ready? Are you ready?
This is where the whole story can actually make sense, and it's not bullshit.
Are you ready?
Do it.
He's a Stark.
Yes. See, this is the whole. This is the.
I didn't even go that way.
Okay, so that's why that part of the story can, if it works out that way.
Yes.
It's not bullshit.
Yes.
And that's why I think Jon kills.
Okay. Okay.
Or yeah, huge.
All right, what else you got?
Question 2.
You blew my mind with the first one.
So, Euron Greyjoy.
Yes, Euron Greyjoy.
The Iron Islands now. He's making 1,000 ships. How many does he send after his niece and nephew?
0. That's not his goal. He's not going to send... He's going to get Daenerys.
Okay, so he's going to Daenerys.
That's his most important thing. They can eat a bag of dicks up north.
Eat a bag of dicks.
They eat the whole bag.
What does Daenerys do?
It's a great question because the thing is he brings a very interesting proposition because you need ships. I got 1,000 of them.
Yep.
You need a king. I got a big fat cock. Apparently. Allegedly.
Allegedly. We haven't seen it yet.
Right.
Well,
it might have warts on it, so.
At some point.
Anyways. So, like, let's do this. So, this way. Let's do this. And I don't know. Like, I mean, it's a really good plan.
He's got a good idea, but
the Greyjoys hate everybody else in Westeros, so it only makes sense. So I think she's gonna go along with it.
You think so?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think she just kills them all and takes the ships.
No way. No way. She's not. She's not dumb.
Fair enough.
Because that's dumb. Because why would you? Like, you can add to your army. Like, yes, she's got the Dothraki and she's got, the Unsullied. But when you can add some Ironborn, and you need people in ships, and now you'll have people in ships and people that know how to drive the boats.
How to drive the boats? Yes, correct.
Is that how you do it? You just drive them?
Yeah. This is how Daenerys gets ships.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and all the ships in Marine were fucking burned to the ground. Exactly. This is literally her only option.
This is her option. If you want to get home, you're coming with us.
You're coming with me and my big fat cock.
And you're going to like it.
And you're going to like it. That's awesome. So, I don't think I have anything else.
I got nothing else.
I just want to point out we've had 2 viewers. We were up to about 5, but we've had 2 people the entire show. So for the 2 of you that have been watching the whole time, thank you for hanging out.
You're awesome. You're the bestest.
That's right. So as always, right. if you like what you're listening to, send us an email. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Like the videos. Reach out to us. Hit me up on Twitter. Seriously, tweet something at me. I'll get you back.
Yeah, he's got nothing better to do.
I got nothing going on. Kids, whatever. Game of Thrones is more important.
Way more important.
Way more important. If you're listening to the audio, thank you for subscribing on iTunes. You can also subscribe on Stitcher and Google Play. But check out the videos on YouTube. Record week this week. Our episode last week had 142 views as of this morning, which is like more than triple of any other video we've had. So thank you guys for watching. So we're doing something right.
It must be.
So
it's our pretty faces.
It must be. It must be. Maybe it's because we talk about big fat cocks. I think we've said big fat cock. Like I believe I've said it like 7 times this episode. So
don't forget, boys, don't forget to check your big fat cocks for warts.
For warts.
Okay?
It's serious.
It's a serious thing.
All right. Well, like, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and we'll see you guys next week.